Hey guys, tonight we're traveling back to one of the grimmest, muddiest, and most misunderstood eras in British history, the Dark Ages. Forget knights, shining castles, or royal banquets, because in this version of Britain, you're more likely to die from a bad turnip than a sword. So before you get too cozy, hit that like button, grab your cloak, and prepare to smell terrible, because hygiene hasn't been invented yet. You wake up in a smoky, one-room hut made of wood, mud, and desperation. There's a hole in the roof for the smoke to escape, but mostly it just chokes you awake. You're sleeping next to your family, your chickens, and something that may or may not be a pig. Breakfast. A bowl of cold porridge that tastes like disappointment. You step outside into a world that's cold, gray, and buzzing with flies. You live in a village of maybe 40 souls, surrounded by damp fields and thick forests that everyone swears are haunted. You don't go in there, not because of ghosts, but because the last guy who did never came back, and the pigs still won't go near that part of the woods. Your clothes are made from scratchy wool that smells like wet sheep. Bathing. That's a rich person's hobby. You might wash your face once a month, if it rains. Life in Dark Age Britain isn't about thriving, it's about surviving. Every day, you're praying your crops don't fail, your cow doesn't die, and that no Viking longships show up on the horizon. Disease is everywhere. A simple cut can kill you. If you get sick, a healer will chant over you while applying crushed herbs and goose fat. If that doesn't work, they'll just say the fairies took your soul and start digging your grave. Religion runs the show. Pagan beliefs still mix with early Christianity, so people hang charms to ward off evil while the local priest warns everyone about demons. Every thunderstorm feels like a cosmic argument. You cross yourself, whisper a prayer, and hope your thatched roof doesn't catch fire. And if you're thinking, at least they had some fun, well, sort of. Entertainment means stories by firelight, drinking mead until you forget your problems, and gossiping about whose sheep mysteriously disappeared last night. If you're lucky, a traveling bard might visit with a lute and sing about heroes who slayed dragons, even though you're pretty sure the only dragon around here is your neighbor's mother-in-law. But let's not forget the violence. Dark Age Britain is constantly at war, tribes, kings, invaders, take your pick. Everyone's fighting for land, food, or revenge. When the Saxons arrived, they brought swords. When the Vikings came, they brought axes. And you brought a hoe. Spoiler, it doesn't help much in combat. Despite all this misery, there's something weirdly admirable about them. These people were tough. They faced famine, plague, and endless winters with nothing but faith, fire, and stubbornness. They built new kingdoms out of chaos and carved a future out of ruin. Without them, there'd be no England, no Scotland, no stories like King Arthur or Beowulf. So what was life in Dark Age Britain really like? Imagine living in a world that constantly tries to kill you, and somehow, you keep laughing, working, and telling stories anyway. It was harsh, it was filthy, it was terrifying, but it was the start of everything that came after. Humanity, in its rawest, dirtiest, most resilient form. Host, smirking, so yeah, next time you complain about Wi-Fi going out for 10 minutes, just remember, your Dark Age ancestors survived winter without soap, electricity, or hope. Now that's hardcore.